There's a group calling it a Pressure Group Citizen Ghana Movement, which is suing the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, and the Speaker of Parliament over the controversial Ameri deal. We know the Ameri deal has gained a lot more media attention over the last couple of days. I think of the last week now, because on Saturday, then the news started trickling in about the Norwegian newspaper story, which seemed to have accused the Power Ministry and indeed the entire government of not undertaking due diligence in dealing with the various entities of Ameri, and how the contract in itself was worded, and supposedly trying to say that the nation has been duped to many sums of millions of dollars. Now the group suing the Attorney General, and the relief they are seeking now that the Prime Minister furnishes the applicant with a copy of the signed report together with a due diligence report that was done on the contract. And we know that they are saying JP Morgan Chase and the Bank of Ghana also did some due diligence on that very contract. Chimanteng Ejako, you're a parliamentarian, so I start with you.
Very well. I think that, unfortunately, in the last 7 years, this country has been plagued with things like this.
Now you are demonizing government.
Well, I will speak to the facts. I will speak to the facts. We have before us an attempt by this government to battle a crisis, the energy crisis that we have lived with. Because of mismanagement, we have had to live with, and the good people of this country has had to endure for 4 years. The reality is this, that in their attempt to bring this to an end, they have told the good people of this country that they were going to take some emergency measures. And this Ameri deal is supposed to be an emergency measure. You see, can it be an emergency after 1 year? Can the measure to ameliorate this situation, an emergency measure to ameliorate this situation, take 1 year? No. When this matter came up, one of the questions we asked was about the cost. When it came up, I think they are called ACEP, I don't know, African Center for Energy Policy, mentioned that you can get the same machine from GE for $220 million. When this matter came up, we were told that it will take about a year or slightly more than a year to get the machine manufactured for you. It is not something that is on the shop shelf. It is custom made. So it will take about a year. Roland, between the time we asked those questions and now, that 1 year has come.
Almost.
Almost.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. It's not a year.
Let us assume it is not even. It is almost. So that was the first justification for wanting to go and buy, to lease and own ultimately from somebody. It didn't make sense to us then. And it doesn't make sense to the good people of this country today. That you were going to do this because it was an emergency. Let us assume that you did this at a cost and the machine came in April and we had some relief. At least it would have balanced off some of the losses we will have to our GDP because of the power failure. You will remember that ISA has calculated the cost of doomsday
the power outages
on this economy, and it is putting it around over $800 million a year. If you paid premium to bring this machine in, and it did provide the power so that industry could work, trade could work, agri could work, and our GDP would not be hovering around 4, but went up by even 1 percentage point, then it was a good trade-off. But today, you told us that you were paying premium for something that would have come at the same time that if we had paid, it would have been manufactured. The second thing they said was that we didn't have money to go and pay. But this is a government that is famous for borrowing to pay for everything. It even borrows money. With the greatest due respect to the viewers, it borrows money. In a World Bank package that we took, we borrowed money. Part of it was to procure sanitary towels. This is a government that will borrow money.
But it's also based on a report which has been approved by
I
UNICEF,
say
etc.
we will do this.
And
we will borrow money to do this.
That will be implementing that, I believe.
Look, if this was a priority to this government, they would have gone. They borrow money every day. In the 7 years, they have gone to the market 3 times to raise a Eurobond. So are you saying that we couldn't have borrowed money to pay for this machine?
So your point is?
After all, GE.
So your point is?
GE has a financial arm. We could have borrowed money from them. You understand? Then you told us all of these things, and something that you could have paid 220 million for, today we are paying in excess of 600 million. Today we are paying in excess of 200. I mean, what I would say to the good people of Ghana is that if this was your father's business, will you treat it this way? And the minister gave a very poor rendition of events. That no, the thing, the 220 million didn't include the cost of auxiliaries of setting up of all of those things.
Maintenance, you know.
No, maintenance is not part of it.
Well, his statement said.
I say maintenance is.
Have you read,
I will come to
that.
Yes, the document. We have the document in Parliament. I will challenge the Minister of Power
any day
to give the good people of this country the breakdown for anything that he calls auxiliary to the machine. We are saying that the machine costs 220 million. I will ask the minister to give us a complete cost of anything else that he has done. That is why we must pay 510 million that he told us. We are even finding that it is more. How much is the financing cost, if there is any? We are now hearing that Ameri went and bought the machine from some people called Mecta at 350 million. And between them and us, there is an extra over 200 million between them. And going through the intermediary, this price goes up by another almost $160 to $70 million. So let us find out. So let us find out. You know, the minister comes to tell us. I didn't know that we were going to discuss this. But we all have the documents. It probably is in my office in Parliament. If you look at the annexes, Annex G, the famous Annex G, this country is paying 850 million. It is a leasing arrangement. And we are paying 850,000 US dollars for one machine that has a capacity for 230 megawatts. So for the 10, it is 8.5 million a month to lease.
You mean the Ameri?
Yes.
It's a leasing project.
It's a leasing project. We are leasing it, and after 5 years, it passes on to us. We are paying $850,000 for one machine, times 10, $8.5 million a month, times 12, $102 million a year. The position we are taking is that if we did this for 2 years, it is over 200. The lease, it costs us as much as the machine in 2 years. There is another 3 years. Let us assume that we took another 1 year to pay for everything else. That is over 300. We would have owned the machine and we would have paid about 300, and it would have been us at the end of the 3rd year. There is an extra 2 years. Anybody tells you
so
that
you're saying that
there is also a variable cost of 16 million.
Can you let me have my time?
Okay. Now, there is also a variable cost of 16 million.
Please wrap up for me.
and all the other costs. So we are saying that, what is this?
But we know that the Prime Minister, and indeed, Ameri Group itself has issued a statement in which they seem to have clarified a lot of the issues. But
that's why I'm surprised.
It's still, we don't seem to be satisfied as a public.
That's why I'm surprised. He, as a member of Parliament, and there's even a statement from Parliament clarifying the issues and saying that nothing untoward had happened.
Who issued a statement from Parliament?
If you are a parliamentarian, you don't know, I'm surprised.
Who issued a statement from Parliament?
Kate Addo signed it. Now, the point is this. The point is this. There is nothing wrong with the Ameri project. We have not leased the machine. At the moment, you can say that the Ameri project is just like the Asogle project.
But
it's a power supply agreement. It's build, own, operate, and transfer. For now, what we are paying for is the power they supply. Just as our Asogle, we pay for their power. After 5 years, then they
would have recovered their cost.
They are recovered and revert to it. So there's no leasing here. It's misinformation, one.
It's not true.
Two, I'm hearing him say that we could borrow and pay and purchase the equipment outright.
Well, he said prudently, it could have made a lot more financial sense. That's the argument.
I am trying to bring out logic and inconsistency. Who are those? Who are those who go about saying that this government is borrowing too much? Who are those? You see one of them sitting on my left-hand side?
Yes. I think this government is borrowing too much.
Good. So you have somebody saying that this government is borrowing too much, and he's sitting here proffering a cure which will require borrowing. Where is the consistency?
Oh.
No. When you were talking,
borrowing.
When you were talking, I was quiet. Indeed. I was uncomfortable, but I had to stomach it.
All right.
So also be uncomfortable. Now, the next thing is they talk about outright purchase, which is 220 million, and that what we are taking, which is 510 million, is way above. This is how it is. The 220, as you rightly indicated, is minus civil works, is minus installation, is minus a substation, and other auxiliary work. You don't want to listen to that.
Oh, I have said it.
Now,
I said the minister must provide the cost of the auxiliaries.
510 is as a result of a high purchase. This arrangement is more or less like a high purchase.
High purchase is the same as a lease. I'm not a lawyer, though.
No. Your lease in your house is not a high purchase. You have a lease for your house.
Let's continue.
Is that a high purchase? The lease, your house lease, 99 years.
Okay, I take off lease. I take high purchase, but it's the same.
Your 99 years is a high purchase.
Okay.
Now, if you know that if you are going to purchase something outright, the cost will be lower than if you want to stagger the payment. That's how come it came to 510. Now, could we have afforded to pay the 220 million
by borrowing?
By borrowing, which they have kicked against, which is not an option the government took.
No,
the government did not take that option.
You're talking about in the instance, if you look at the alternatives.
Yeah, the government at a time,
it would have been better value for money.
Good,
absolutely
good. So let's look at, you see, this equipment.
It would have been better value.
Wait. This equipment, even if you pay outright, it's not going to come the following day. You're not going to just carry it.
They said it will come in 1 year.
No, that's what I'm saying.
In this same thing, we are also waiting for another year.
Can you come to my aid? What he's doing is not good. The listeners want to hear.
Okay.
You see, the viewers.
I'm your aid.
Yes, come to my aid now. Yes. You see, whether you pay outright or you stagger it, you are not going to go and pay it and carry it on your head and come home.
I said this.
It will still be a period of 9 months or 1 year.
So there'll still be additional costs.
No. So if you are a prudent government, who at the time was faced with doctor strike, the health sector was crumbling, won't you take the option that will make you release some funds to deal with internal problems? You are not in government, so you don't know what is happening. You are sitting in your home at East Legon.
In Parliament.
And in Parliament. Okay. You don't know the things that government has to grapple with on a daily basis.
Oh, he knows.
Those are the things that face this government at the time.
Honestly.
Won't you ask for a system that will free some funds for you to deal with internal problems. Now he talks about EG, that's General Electric.
G.
The government of Ghana, through VRA, has been dealing with GE.
I'm shocked at you.
Now, GE came with a proposal on this matter. It's not that GE never came with a proposal. They came with a proposal. Their proposal was that they were coming with on rental basis. VRA, and on any day, when it comes to power issues, I would take the recommendation of VRA than to take a recommendation from MPP. VRA advised the government of Ghana that the GE proposal is not beneficial to the people of this country. So if you are a government and an expert like VRA comes to tell you this, will you still go with GE? So I think that the matters are muddled. People are not seeing the differences.
You think they're looking at it with political lenses?
That's what they're doing. They even said that we entered into an agreement with a rogue, a wanted person.
He's come out with a statement.
Farouk.
That's the prince himself has come out with the statement. He owns the company.
The company is owned by
the prince.
No, Sheikh Ahmed bin Mukhtar, who is different from
Maktoum.
It doesn't matter. It's not from my hometown. It's different from the Farouk guy. The Farouk guy was only a CEO who has even left the organization, and now the organization is now being headed by Ziad Barakat. So to say that we entered into an agreement with Farouk, when you know that Farouk was not the one who signed the agreement, it's mischief.
Okay, now I would want to just shortly, 30 seconds for each of us. Is it that we don't want to take for a fact what the Norwegian newspaper is saying, or we also should be a country in which we're just not following misleading media reports? So to speak? 30 seconds.
I think that I hear that the Ameri has threatened the Norwegian newspaper. I think they can go ahead and do this. Luckily, wherever it is in those countries, there's a lot more transparency. There's a lot more of all of this. I think that they probably even have a right to information, things that work very well. I think that all the truth will come out. But as for us, our position remains the same, that this is a bad deal. The things I have said, Amalba has confirmed one way or another. If this machine was going to come in April, we will agree to this high purchase if that's the way you want.
But at the time, we're giving options that would have meant that
you see,
it was for emergency purposes.
It would have saved a certain situation. Today, we took a high purchase agreement. It has taken us that same 1 year. Why would
I wanted to give him an option, but I can't.
Why would anybody go and pay 510 when they could have paid 220?
Wherever the industry, Emmanuel Chamanteja, member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogon, and member of the NDC's legal team, communication team, Abraham Amaliba.
These are people who sent us to a saloon to take a loan.
And that'll be it for the show. Now we're going back to 2005 and some accusations. And so that'll be it for the show this morning. Thanks for joining us, and we're very much happy. Please stay with us. We'll be here again same time tomorrow. Then we'll have our last show for the week. Thanks. Bye-bye.